Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone today? All ready for the game against Sunderland, hopefully. It's really early in the morning at the moment. It's 6:15 in Spain, so it's 5:15 in the UK. Just got up early. So I thought I might as well get on with today's preview of the Sunderland game. I guess it won't be long until you're in the roost having a few pints and getting on your way up there. Anyone that's travelling today, take it easy. It's a fair old journey, in it. To be honest, like Stadium of Light is one of my favourite stadiums. I went there first season. I think it was built. I'm not sure. I think we might have got a point there. But I've been there several times. Been to Roker Park as well, and of course, chalk and cheese, aren't they? Roker Park, famous old stadium. But I do like the Stadium of Light. And when they've got a lot of fans in there and it's buzzing, it's a difficult place to go. But we haven't got a good record there, so let's hope today we can do something. Tony Mowbray, course manager, so they're going to be pretty well drilled. He's long in the tooth, and he's going to know exactly what to expect from Blues today. I expect more of what we did last week. It depends on the starting lineup. Rooney seems to have sort of mixed the starting lineup around quite a bit since he started, but my opinion of that is that he wanted to see everyone play. I think we're going to get this sort of more or less predictable lineup now with him. I think we've got the back four sorted, and I think today it'll be the same as last week with the right back being, well, he had a great game, didn't he? Ethan Laird, two centre backs, Allen and Sanderson. I call him Allen because I know his name is pronounced Ayu or Ayu or Ayu. But when I'm writing it, if I'm doing something in in the group, I can never remember how to spell it. So I'm going to call him Alan. It's just easier for me. And at left back, we're going to have Cody Drama, who has been an absolute sensation, hasn't he? I think when he first came, there's a few moans about him, his first few games for us. But not only has he played well on the right, he played brilliantly on the left last week. It makes you wonder what's going to happen when Buchanan comes back. I mean, personally, I think Buchanan will get straight back into the side, and it's going to be difficult then to see what we do. There's been some talk about, and I can understand it really, moving Drama over to right back and pushing Ethan Laird up and playing him like right-sided on the right side of those front four that we sort of play. So there's definitely a chance of that. Laird wouldn't be, he wouldn't be looking at playing defensive midfield because he likes to get forward. He's great going wide on the right. He's got a good right foot. He can go past players. This guy's made for right-sided midfield as well, isn't he? So it'll be interesting. It'll give us another option when Buchanan comes back. Gives us the option of playing Laird in that wide right role. It's easy for you to say, if we need to. Okay. So the opposition today, Sunderland, they have a pretty fluid sort of setup, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to set up against us today. They got two important players missing. They got Daniel Ballard and Lucan Irons, both out of the side today, and these two players play central defence for Sunderland. And Irons tends to come forward quite a lot. He's been with them for years. He's a good player. Both of them are actually good players, big lads. And Irons, as I said, likes to get forward. We should be able to exploit that, and I'm not sure they're going to bring in. They've got a lot of fairly. I mean, the average age for the Sunderland side is like 23 and a half or something. So they're a young team. So anyone they're going to bring in is going to be fairly young, and I would venture they're going to be fairly inexperienced, which gives, I don't know, I think it gives Mowbray's a lot of headaches having these two lads out today, because the way Sunderland like to play is they like to play fast into passing football, a bit like we do, like the new way that we do when we go forward, which is great. But the back four they don't play the pressing game like we will, and the back four like to knock it around and look for opportunities. Now the problem that gives them is if we're on their back four like we were on Ipswich's back four last week, they're going to have problems, particularly if they're two inexperienced players at centre back, because I mean, he might. I don't know how he's going to cope with this, because he may try and bring someone who's a little bit more experienced into the middle, perhaps a fullback or something. I don't know the players well enough to be able to second guess that. Our fast pressing game is going to cause some problems. If one of those centre halves puts a foot on the ball for more than 2 or 3 seconds, you've seen what happened last week. And Ipswich are an experienced side, and they're good at the back. And we had them panicking at times last week. I think what Mowbray will do with the back four is he'll try to spread them out as much as he can when they're in possession at the back, and make the passing, left to right, right to left, not short passes in the middle. Because what he'll try and do is run our players out. So he'll want our 4 pressing players, Stansfield and Ollie Burke. And I think the other 2 up there today is going to be like last week. It's going to be Bakuna and Marshy, and they all press. But he's going to try and string that back 4 out as much as he can, so that it makes a distance for our forwards, greater distance to chase. Or to chase the ball when we want to press it, and hopefully that's going to tire us out a little bit, But of course, if we're pressing back, if we're pressing up from the back there, I mean, it's a high press. We have to be very careful with Sunderland, because they've got Clark on that wide left. This guy is a really good player. He scored 9 goals this season. I mean, it's a fair old return for someone that more or less plays wide left. So today, Ethan Laird, obviously he's going to be pushing forward with the press, and we've got to make sure that Allen and Sanderson are on the game today, and that covering is right. And Sunich is going to have to make sure that he's switched on. I'm guessing it's going to be Sunich and JJ, I would think. So we've got to be aware of Clark, and they're a fast passing side. So they really are like one touch and pass. So our defence has got to be switched on in that position. That ball out goes over the top. We've got to be really, really prepared for a chase, and that's what makes it exciting. I think I made a couple of points last week about in one of the posts on the project group about the goalkeepers. Ruddy's a great keeper, and he's had some really good games this season, but he's not the best on the floor. So it worries me with those. But if Ruddy presses fairly high up with the centre backs, which it shouldn't be unusual for him to be out of his area. But if that ball comes to his feet and he's got an on-rushing centre forward or an on-rushing like left winger like Clark, he's got to be confident. If he kicks the ball long, we have like a 70% chance of losing possession, which is what Wayne Rooney doesn't want. If he plays a short pass, left or right, to one of the centre halves, he's got to make sure that that pass is accurate. Because this is where, and I'm not knocking Ruddy, because he's been great. He's been absolutely brilliant. Etheridge is better on the floor. Ruddy commands his box better. What we really need is a keeper that does both of those things. And I think we're going to be getting that, probably even in January. But you make a bit of a balls up on one of those short passes when you're a keeper, and it's all over when we play that high game, because there's only one place the ball's going to end up. So, hopefully Ruddy's been doing a little bit of work in training. I've noticed as well that some of the training's going on at St Andrews as well now. So they might be getting the players used to playing at home a little bit. I know Ashley Cole's been a lot more involved. So I think that's probably going to be working with our fullbacks in this high pressing game. They've got to be able to attack, but they've got to be able to get back and defend as well. Although I think we are absolutely blessed with the fullbacks at the moment, and we're so lucky that Drama can play left back. I mean, you've seen the problems that we had with Longhello, and Longhello, I don't know if people really understand the thing with Longhello. I mean, out there saying people, he's crap, he's that. He's not, he's a left wing back, and that doesn't mean he can play the left side of a back four and press, because left wing backs are like, really, they're sort of left wingers, aren't they? But they're not usually great at defending. And Longhello is in that mould. He's not good at defending, Longhello isn't. And I think for this system, his games are going to be pretty few and far between. He's not going to play a lot of games for us when we play in this pressing game. So I think, the order of the day, really, we need, because the centre-back coverage isn't great either, because when you've got Long and Roberts as centre-backs, as we know, they're both reliable, good centre-backs on their day, but they can't play the pressing game. They just can't. Roberts hasn't got the athleticism. He can get up and down a little bit, but he can't take a ball out of defence and play a pass like Sanderson, and particularly Allen, AU can. So we're going to be looking, I would think, at a couple of ball-playing centre halves in January, but we've got to be careful in January, because still we're looking at the transfer business with sustainability. So I don't know if any offers come in for Hogan, Duke, obviously Roberts. These players are going to be leaving, in my opinion, probably even the keepers. So that's stuff to look out for in January. And I'm sure now we got Rigby coming in from Man City, who's going to be helping that the search for new players. And a bit like Allen, they found him, Cremonese, relegated, but what a great signing. They got Cody Drama from Leeds, not being played, brought him in. They've, Ethan Laird, Man United player, online at QPR. QPR were having issues. Laird was on the bench. Those are sort of players we want to pick up, really good value players. 750,000 for Laird, what a great signing. But coming back to today's game, I'm going to stick my neck out, because I never think we're going to lose. I always think we're going to win, obviously. So, I'm going for us to score a couple of goals today. I hate giving actual score predictions, but I think we'll win. I do. And particularly if we can score early, the stadium are like, I watched their game against Middlesbrough and they lost 4-0. Crowd weren't happy, definitely not. And with with Sunderland, even with those two centre-backs in, their back four went to pieces. I think we score early against these, rattle these two centre-halves, whoever they're going to be, and we could be on for a bit of a field day. You never know. So, fingers crossed, we're going to get a good result today. Anyone that's going up, guys, have a safe journey up. It's 5:30 there now. It's 6:30 here in Spain. So you'll be having a few pints in the roost soon. You might be even watching this. Who knows? But if you do, take it easy on the way up there. Have a nice drink. It's a nice early kickoff, which obviously ain't great, but the advantage of early kickoffs is you can get out and have a tot afterwards, or you can head all the way back to Brum and have a tot when you get home. So that's a good idea, isn't it? All right. So have a good day. Bring back the 3 points. Make sure you drive carefully. Look after yourselves, and see you soon. Okay. See you, lads and ladies. Bye.